Okay, so we'll start with our usual neck flexion. So chin down towards your chest, and then just clasp your fingers behind your neck really gently, just to give you an extra stretch. Okay, and then back to the start, and then back down again for a second one. Okay, back to the start, I'm going to rotation, so we'll go to the right first. So right hand round behind you, left arm across, twist your body to the right, and then you're going to turn your head to the left and put your chin on your left shoulder. Keep as upright as you can, and nice, just big, gentle, deep breaths. Okay, and same to the left. So left hand behind you, right hand across, twist your body to the left, and then turn your head to the right, and put your chin on your right shoulder. Okay, once more back to the right. Right hand behind you, left hand across, and then turn your head to the left. This time, take a big deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just see if you can rotate a little bit further as you breathe out. Okay, and then last one to the left. So left hand behind you, right arm across, twist your body to the left, and then head goes to the right and chin on the right shoulder. Okay, back to the centre, we'll go into side flexion. So place your right hand under your right hip, take your head across to the left, and if you want an extra stretch, you can use your left hand just to guide you a little bit further. Okay, back to the centre, and we'll do the same on the opposite side. So pop your left hand under your left hip, head down across to the right, and then you can use your right hand to give you an extra stretch if you want. Okay, once more each side, so back to the right hand side, head down to the left, and then left hand, just to give you an extra stretch. And then last one to the opposite side, so left hand under, head across to the right, and then using your right hand to just give you that little bit extra. Okay, so staying in seated, we're going to do a seated twist. So pop your legs out in front of you if you can, and then you're going to take your left leg, cross it over your body, and then try and pull your knee in towards your chest and your thigh, and you're going to twist your body in towards your thigh. So you should get a nice stretch down across the side of your hip, and you're getting a little bit of thoracic rotation as well. You can use your head, so if you look in the direction you're turning in, you might get a little bit more rotation out of it as well. Okay, we're going to swap sides to the opposite leg. So pop your leg straight again and take the opposite leg. pull it in towards your body again. Turn your body in towards your thigh and then rotate in towards it as well. Again, use your head to take you in the direction you want to rotate towards. Okay, once more to each side. So back to the first leg, cross it over, pull your knee in towards your thigh, in towards your chest, sorry, and then just rotate in towards it and as far around as you can. And same as with the neck rotation, take some big deep breaths in this position, and every time you breathe out, just see if you can twist and rotate a bit further and feel a stronger stretch. Okay, and then last one on the opposite leg. So cross it over again, pull it in towards you and then rotate again and again. Big deep breath, and as you breathe out, see if you can take that stretch a little bit further than you did the first time. Okay, and then back to seated position. So take hold of the band that you've got, or a broom handle, or whatever you have, and we're going to do shoulder pass-throughs to give us a nice shoulder warm-up. So start with the band as wide as you can, depending on how flexible you are, and then place the band above your head with both hands nice and wide, elbows nice and straight, and then we're going to go down towards our left-hand side, and then over the top with our right hand. And then you're going to come back out with the left and back out with the right. So try and keep sat as upright as you can, and the shoulders do all of the movement. So we're going to lead with our left. We're going to do 6 in this direction, and then we'll change sides. So I'm going to go down with the left, over with the right, keeping my elbows as straight as I can. Come back out with the left and then come back out with the right. So it's a really nice one to open the shoulders and open out through the chest, but just take the movement as far as you can. If it's too much, either get a really long band or just take the movement as far as you feel that you can do. A couple more on this side and then we'll change direction. Okay, so we've done 6 in that direction. We're now going to lead with our right hand. So we're going to go down with the right hand, over with the left, and then come back out with the right. Again, just be guided by how flexible you are yourself and what movement that you have. Don't force anything that doesn't feel comfortable. We're going to do 6 in this direction. Sometimes it takes longer just to pick the movement pattern up than it does the actual stretch. Okay, one more in this direction. Okay, and then to finish with, take the arms at the top nice and wide. And we're now going to take our hands just over our head and backwards, but only go as far as you feel that you can. So if you're not very flexible, have the band as wide as you can. And then you're going to keep your elbows straight and take your arms behind you. And if you can get all the way down to the floor, that's great. But if you can't, if you can only get just behind your head, that's fine. But we're going to do 6 of those. Again, if that feels really easy, then you can bring your hands closer together and you can make it a little bit stronger depending on how flexible you are. When you've done 6 of those in that direction, we'll stop and move on to the next one. Okay, so we're going to move on to some forearm flexion extension just to give our forearms a bit of mobility. I personally like to do these ones in kneeling, but you can sit in any position that you want to. But we'll stretch through our forearm flexors first, and also the front of our forearms. So I'm going to start in sitting. And And I'm going to place my palms down towards the floor and my fingers back towards the wall behind me. Again, you can do it with your legs crossed wherever you feel comfortable. If you are in kneeling and that feels really easy, you can then sit yourself further back, but keeping the palm of the hand as flat as you can, and you'll feel a nice stretch through the front of your forearm flexors. So only take it as far as you're comfortable to do so. Just hold that for a few seconds. You might have one wrist that's more flexible than the other, so that's fine. You can always alter each side to kind of match what your level of flexibility on each side. Okay, so gently come out of that one, and we're going to stretch our forearm extensor. So to do this one, place your thumb in a closed fist, take your wrist down towards the floor, guide it with your other hand, and then you're going to turn your forearm, so you're turning your thumb down towards the floor, keeping that elbow straight. You should feel a stretch down the back of your forearm. Okay, we're going to swap hands to the left hand side, so same thing, thumb into a closed fist, wrist down towards the floor, elbow straight, and then you're going to use the other hand to kind of give you some extra wrist flexion and turn the thumb in towards down towards the floor. Okay, we're going to go back into forearm flexors for a stretch. So again, hands come either side of you. The second one in this position, again, you might find you have a little bit more range than the last time. But keep those fingers facing back towards the wall, and then just sit back as far as you feel comfortable to do so, just until you reach the limit of what's tolerable. Okay, so back on to stretch our forearm extensor, so we'll do the right one again. So thumb into a closed fist, wrist down towards the floor, and then use that other hand to guide you into flexion, and also turning the forearm down so the thumb goes towards the floor. And the last one on the left, so swap hands again, so thumb into a fist, down into flexion, with some rotation, until you feel that stretch into your forearm and keep that elbow straight. So when we've done this one, we're going to move on to either we could do pigeon, which is a nice one for the hips, or we can just stretch out our hip flexors in prone. So if you want to do pigeon, make sure you've got a pillow handy. I always find it easier. So for higher pointers, we can do pigeon, which I'll just demonstrate. So we're going to take one thigh, bring it through, bring the heel out as far as you can. Back leg goes out straight. I always find it's easier to put a pillow under my hip and then sink down into that position. So low pointers, you could try this one if you wish. The other option, if you can't do that, is to sit in this position with the heel tucked right under and get a hip flexor stretch there, or simply to lie on your front and pop your hands and prop yourself up onto your elbows so you get a nice hip flexor stretch. So they're the options. For this one, I'm going to do pigeon. So again, you kind of pick the stretch depending on how flexible you are. If you have decided to do pigeon, just do what's comfortable for you, and it might take a few minutes just to kind of sink into that one. So find a place that's relatively tolerable, but you can feel the stretch, and you might find that you can work yourself down onto the floor to rest your forearms down after a minute or so. This is one that takes a little bit of practice to get used to. If you are in pigeon, if you want to take yourself down onto your forearms, again, it's personal preference. Some people like it, some people don't. It depends on how flexible you are, so just pick what's right for you. Key with this one is nice big deep breath. Try and relax into it. Try and let all the muscles hanging onto your hip just relax and breathe into that. Try and let them let go. Okay, just a few more seconds on this side and we'll swap and do the opposite side. Okay, work yourself out of that one gently, so don't rush to come out of that one. So if you're in pigeon, you can swap to the opposite side. If you've picked just lying on prone on your hip flexors, that's fine. It's a nice one to just stretch out the hip flexors to lie in front. So if you've chosen pigeon, you can change sides. Again, with this one, you might want to start upright, give yourself a minute to get used to this, and then you can fold yourself forwards. It just gives a bit of an extra stretch through the hip, but whatever you feel comfortable to try. Again, big deep breath in this position. Try and relax everything around the hips. Try and let them go if you can. Okay, just a few more seconds here and then we'll come out of this one. Okay, just gently walk yourself out of that one again. Take your time as you come out of that one. So the next one that we're going to do, we're going to look to do some thoracic extension and shoulder elevation work. So again, if you've got a hold of a pillow, you'll need to still use this one. So pillow on the floor, take hold of your band or your broom handle again, whatever you have. And you want to aim for the pillow to be in the thoracic spine, so kind of high up. So the lower back still wants to be in contact with the ground if you can. For high pointers or people that have got access to keep their knees bent, it's a much better way to do it if you can. So try and keep your abdominals switched on if you can. Lower your lower back into the floor, keep the knees bent. And then you're going to take your arms nice and wide with the TheraBand or on the broom handle, whatever you have. And in that position there, we're just going to take our arms over our head. So you're going to get a combined thoracic extension stretch, but you're also going to get some nice shoulder elevation as well. So holding that one for a few seconds. Again, if you can keep those abdominals switched on, if you've got the activity, then that's great. Hold it for a few seconds and then come back up to the start point. And every time you do this, until you find your level of what you can tolerate, keep bringing your hands closer together because you will get a stronger shoulder stretch as you do that. So And then just hold that end position again for a few seconds if you can. Work the hands back in. Take the arms back overhead again. Big deep breath, try and relax around the shoulders as much as you can. Come back out of it, work our hands back in again. Unless you've already found that level of tolerance, then you can keep your hands in that position. Again, not forgetting that abdominal activity, if you can hold on to that, and just make it more localised to thoracic and shoulder. Come back out, we're going to do 2 more. So hopefully you've now found that level of tolerance that you have. We're just going to use these last 2 to work into that range. Okay, last one, so bring the arms out and then back down for one last one. So keeping those abdominals turned on, lower back into the ground, and trying to get the back of those hands to touch the floor. I'm just going to hold that last position for a few seconds. Okay, bring your arms back out of that. You can get rid of the band. And we're going to look to do some thoracic rotation work now. So we have 2 options. If your lower pointers have a lie on your side, and we'll take you to do chest openers, which is quite a nice one. Higher pointers, you can do that one if you wish. Or the other option that we're going to go to is a lumbar lock position. So I'll demonstrate the lumbar lock position. So sitting back on your knees. For higher pointers, elbows in towards your knees, and then you're going to clasp your hands around the back of your neck. For lower pointers, if you're in that crucifix position, you're going to slide that top hand forwards and follow that arm all the way round. And we're going to do 5 on each side for whatever option you've gone for. So if we're in lumbar lock, we're going to take our elbow, reach right up towards the ceiling as far as we can, but keeping the other elbow in contact with the knee. Hold that top position for a few seconds, and then we're going to go back down. We're going to do 5 on this same side, and then we'll swap sides and do the opposite side. Holding that top position for a few seconds, same with the lower pointers. Open out as far as you can and hold that position, and then come back down. Into the 3rd one. Hopefully each time you do this you can get a little bit further, so use your head to direct that movement again. You might find you get a bit more. We've got 2 more to do on this side. So again, open out, same with the lower pointers, really open out that chest and hold that end position for a few seconds. And last one. So elbow up towards the ceiling, and then back down. So we're going to swap sides now, so whether you've gone for the crucifix option on your side or whether you've gone for the lumbar lock, we're now going to change positions. I'll just turn around so I'm facing this way. So whatever side you've done, we'll just do the opposite. So if you're doing lumbar lock, go back down into that bottom position, hands clasped behind your head. If you want to do the crucifix position, you can just turn yourself over, and we're going to do 5 more on this opposite side. So take that elbow up towards the ceiling again. Holding it for a few seconds, big deep breaths. Same with the lower pointers on the floor, hold that open position and then back down. And we're going to repeat that another 4 times. So elbow back to the ceiling. Make sure that you're sat right back into your heels and you keep that other elbow in contact with the opposite knee. And then back down. Back up for a 3rd time. Again, hopefully each time you do this you can get a tiny little bit further. Use your head to kind of guide the direction that you're going in. And back down. And we've got 2 more. And back down. Okay, last one. And back down. Okay, so for the next one we're going to come back up into sitting. I'm going going to sit with our legs just slightly wider, and we're going to look to stretch our hip adductors and giving a little bit of a side opener as well. So low point is if you need something to sit up against to kind of keep you upright, do so, because as you lower yourself back down, you'll lose some of that hip adduction stretch. So sitting up as tall as you can. If that's difficult, then you can take the pillow that we used earlier and just pop it underneath you, and that will just keep your pelvis tilted forwards and will keep you in a nice upright position. And then in that position, I'm going to slide my left hand down my left shin down towards my foot. If you can reach your foot, then that's great. And then you're going to take your right hand if possible, and you're going to take it up and over the top of you. So you give a nice side opener at the same time. You can lower that forearm down onto your shin if you can get that far. And then take that arm. So just take yourself as far as you can, but you should now feel a nice open through down that side and also through that left adductor as well. If you can, look up towards the ceiling, give that bit of extra rotation in there, nice big deep breaths. And then come back to the starting position and we'll swap sides. So this time I'm going to slide my right hand down towards my foot on my shin, rest my elbow and forearm there if you can get that far, and then take the left hand, come up and over, and again if you can look and rotate up towards the ceiling, you should feel a stronger stretch down at the bottom of the left hand side of your back. Again, big deep breath in this position, maximise the stretch through that left hand side of your chest. Okay, back to the starting position, and we're going to do one more each side. So slide that left hand down towards the foot. If you can get a little bit further, then great. And then you're going to take that right hand and take it over the top of you and try and open out that side as much as you can. Okay, back to the start point, and we've got one more on the other side. So take that right hand down, aim towards the foot again if you can, feel the stretch in your adductor, and then you're going to take your left hand, open it out, look up towards the ceiling and take a few big deep breaths and hold that position there. And then back up towards the start position. And then just to finish with, like we always do, we're just going to finish in child's pose. So you're going to take yourself back onto your mat, onto your knees. If you're quite flexible through your shoulders, use your pillow to give you a bit extra. So place the pillow in front of you. If you don't have that much mobility through your hips and shoulders, then you don't need to worry about the pillow. And then from that position there, you're going to work your hands forwards. And you're going to place your hands on the pillow in front of you if you've chosen to have the pillow, or just on the mat. Place your forehead down on towards the mat, but try and keep your hands nice and straight and open. Same with the elbow, and you'll just get a stronger stretch through those shoulders. So let those arms stay active. Don't let them go too passive and reach the floor. Try and keep them off the ground as far as you can if you've got your hands on a pillow, and really try and work to keep those elbows straight. And we're just going to finish with this position for a minute, so you can close your eyes, try and get nice and comfortable. Take some nice big deep breaths and try and relax everything that you have, just to try and maximise that stretch through the shoulders and the hips. And it's just a nice one to finish on. Okay, just another 30 seconds in that position and we'll work ourselves back out. Okay, so just gradually start to bring your hands back in, and then that's the end of the session.